warm yoga ab workout. It's going to be great. You don't need any props for today's class. Just bring your mat and maybe turn on some good music and we can get started. When you're ready, let's come to a comfortable seated position. For me, that means my legs are crossed. For you, you might like something different. Let's roll our shoulders back and down, closing our eyes. Let's take a few breaths together to get grounded and prepared for our practice today. Eyes are closed if that's comfortable for you. Really start to focus in on your breath. Letting each breath come in and out through your nose. Releasing everything going on around you and just focusing on the breath. In our yoga practice, it's the most important thing to be connecting our body, our breath, and our mind. So if at any point you feel like you're losing sight of the breath, pause this video, return to the breath, and then come join us once again. On an inhalation, slowly begin to open your eyes. I think it's time we get started. Let's come to our backs with our knees bent. Those shoulder blades are tucked underneath us. And we're going to bring our hands either to the sides of our mats or they can be out wide like a T. Draw your knees in just a little bit. Feet are flexed. Knees over hips. I'm going to do one of my favorite ways to start class, revolving belly. Nice deep inhalation. And then on an exhalation, keeping those knees together, draw your knees 20 degrees to the right and hold. As you hover here, you want to keep that left shoulder on the mat, that left stomach revolving to the left. Keep breathing, and on your next exhalation, draw your knees 20 more degrees to the right. And then they hover. Keep breathing, revolving that belly to the left. I know it's tricky. Then another 20 degrees to the right on your exhale. You have just a few degrees away from your knees touching the ground. You're doing good. Inhale all the way back to center. Catch your breath. Nice deep inhalation. Exhale 20 degrees to the left. This time the right shoulder blade is staying suction cupped to the mat. The stomach is revolving to the right. Exhale 20 more degrees to the left. Exhale 20 more degrees. I know it's hard. Then inhale all the way back to center. Exhale, feet to the mat. Whew. If you're thinking you have more juice in you to give, I have an option for you. Otherwise, you can repeat what we just did together. On an inhalation, either drawing those knees in, keeping the legs bent, or this time, option to straighten the legs. Nice deep inhalation. And then on an exhalation, keeping those legs together like a nice mermaid or merman, we're going to exhale the feet and legs to the right. This time you want to think about drawing those toes towards your right shoulder blade. Exhale 20 more degrees to the right. It's trickier with those legs straight. Then 20 more degrees. Inhale all the way back to center. We won't hold it as long. Catching your breath, exhale 20 degrees to the left, thinking of those toes coming up towards the left shoulder. Exhale 20 more degrees to the left. Then another 20. Then inhale all the way back to center. I know those are hard, goodness gracious. Exhale, feet to the mat. Catch your breath. Then you can bring your hands to the sides of your body, maybe holding onto the sides of your sticky mat for even more support. I like to hold the sides. We're going to inhale. This time everyone is extending their feet towards the ceiling. We're going to exhale, slowly begin to lower the feet towards the ground. Doing a little 30, 60, 90 to wake up the core. On an inhalation, drawing the feet back to center. Exhale, lower. Inhale back to center. Exhale, lower. You don't want those feet to touch the ground, but you do want to get mighty close. Inhale back to center. 2 more. Hopefully you know where those abs are now. They should be working nice and hard. Inhale back to center. Exhale, bending the knees, planting the feet. Whew. Let's roll to our sides. Come up to a seated position. And then coming into a tabletop. In this tabletop, wrists are under our shoulders, knees are under hips, pushing the ground away from you. I'm going to do a couple cat-cows, way to wake up our body. Inhale, dropping our belly, lifting our head, coming to that cow. Exhale, cat, lifting the back, drawing the chin towards your chest. Following your own breath cycle, inhaling into cow, exhaling into cat. Then on your next inhale, come into a neutral spine, grounding through the legs and the feet and the hands. We're going to begin to lift the right leg up. Using that inner right thigh to really actively work that leg. Toes are pointed down towards the ground. Hip is parallel to the earth. Using the strength of your core, let's extend our left arm out, Doing a little spinal balance here. On an exhale, we're going to bend the elbow and the knee, do a little crunch. Then inhale, straighten, coming back to spinal balance. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Then inhale, straighten and hold. Exhale, release the hand and the knee back to the mat. Little cat, little cow. Flush out the body. Then come back to that neutral spine. This time, left leg reaching behind you. Toes pointed down. Left inner thigh is active and working. Extending the right arm out in front of you, coming to that spinal balance. Exhale, bending the knee, bending the elbow, a little crunch. Inhale, back, straighten, spinal balance. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, spinal balance. Exhale, crunch. Spinal balance. One more time. Exhale, crunch. Then inhale, spinal balance, and hold. Exhale, hand to the ground. Knee meets the mat. Beautiful job. Staying in this tabletop position, we're going to push the tops of our feet into the mat and lift our knees up off the ground. Little core awakening. Keep pushing the earth away from you with your hands and the tops of your feet. Exhale, knees down. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward dog. Feel free to pedal, bending one leg and straightening the other, saying hello to those legs. Then straightening out the legs, coming into a downward dog. Use the hands to push the earth away from you. On an inhalation, we're going to shift the weight more to our hands, coming into a high plank. Then exhale, downward coming. Just keep on cycling through. Focusing on the breath, letting the breath guide you. Last one. Exhale, plank. Inhale, downward dog. Catch your breath here. 3 deep inhalation and exhalations here. Keeping your attention on your breath, letting go of everything else, not worried about what's coming next, not worried about what's happened already, being present in this moment together. Slowly begin to bend your knees. You're going to slowly let them hover over your mat. Keep pushing the earth away from you, keeping that spine long and strong. Then slowly knees all the way meet the ground. Toes together, knees apart. Exhale into a child's pose. Keeping those arms reaching in front of you. Palms are pushing into the earth to try to draw those hips back to the heels. Keep those knees, or those elbows lifting up off the mat. Arms are active and engaged here. Begin to walk your hands a little to the right, getting a little twist in, saying hello to our side body. Then walking your hands back to center, and then over to the left. Back to center. Inhale slowly into a tabletop. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward dog. Then on an inhalation, gazing at your hands, step or jump your feet forward, forward fold. It's okay if you have a nice little bend here in the knees. Really focus on bringing your chest towards those thighs. So you might want a little more bend, a little less bend, depending on your range of motion. Really feel connected towards those thighs. With your hands on the ground, let's bring our peace fingers, our pointer and our middle finger, around our big toes. And begin to open up your elbows nice and wide, finding length in the collarbones, the chest. Using your toes to push into your fingers and your fingers to pull on your toes, really keeping your chest super glued to those thighs. Letting your head hang here briefly. Then exhale, release those peace fingers. Slowly but surely begin to straighten your legs, come up into a standing position. Tadasana, mountain pose at the top of your mat. Shoulders rolling back and down away from your ears. Inhale, arms lift up. Exhale, bend at the elbows, baby back bend. Inhale, arms straighten. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, up, halfway, flat back. Exhale, fold forward, step or jump back into plank. Push into that downward dog. Inhale, right leg lifts, three-legged down dog. Hold it here briefly. Then we're going to exhale, bend the knee towards the chest. We're going to come into a high plank, draw that right knee towards the left elbow. Then inhale, straighten back into a downward dog. Exhale, knee to center this time in the high plank. Downward dog. Then exhale, knee to right elbow this time. Downward dog. Exhale, right foot meets the ground. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, bending at the knee, drawing that knee to a high plank, left or right elbow. Then downward dog. Exhale, knee to center in that high plank. Downward dog. One more time, you've got this, you're doing great. Exhale, knee to left elbow. Downward dog. Beautiful job, those are tricky. Exhale, feet back to the ground. Downward dog, catch your breath. 3 deep breaths here. Option is always to go into a child's pose if you've lost sight of that breath. Gazing at your hands, step or jump your feet forward, forward fold. Inhale up halfway, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, cactus the arms, baby back bend. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway, flat back. Exhale, fold forward, step or jump back into plank. Option to chaturanga down or go straight into a downward dog. If you're in your up dog, sphinx or cobra, let's exhale, downward dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, swing it through to meet the hands. We're going to pivot on the back left leg. Inhale all the way up. Straight left or straight right leg. Begin to hinge forward at the hips, setting up for a triangle, letting the right hand meet the ground. Left arm reaching upwards. Then exhale, left arm down. We're going to pivot on the back left toes. Step in slightly with the left toes. Reach our hands in front and then lift off, letting our left leg reach up off the ground. Option to keep your hands on the ground or some blocks, or bring your hands to heart center. You can keep a bend in the knee if that makes you feel more stable, or try to push the earth away and strengthen the bottom right leg. Lengthening. Staying strong in this warrior 3. Then exhale, bending the right leg. Left toes meet the ground. Straightening the right leg. Pyramid pose. Take a deep breath here. Hands framing the feet. Let's bring that right leg back. Downward dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, swing it through to meet our hands. Pivot on the back right foot. Inhale all the way up. Then hinging at the hips. Pull forward, pull forward, pull forward. Exhale, left arm down, right arm lifts. Triangle pose. Exhale, right arm down. Gonna step in slightly, coming to that pyramid, pivoting on the back right toes, walking our hands forward, stepping in a little bit more, then lifting the right leg up off the mat. Option to keep your hands on the ground or on blocks, or bring your hands to heart center. Really focus on keeping that hip parallel to the mat. I like a little bend in my leg for extra stability. Keep gripping those hips. Exhale, bend in the left knee, toes meet the ground. Straighten the left leg, pyramid pose. pose. Begin to walk your hands down to the ground, bending at the legs, coming back into that downward dog. Gazing at your hands on an inhalation, step or jump your feet forward, forward fold. Inhale up halfway, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Then inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, cactus, the arms, baby back bend. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lifting up halfway, flat back. Exhale, fold forward, step or jump back into plank. Chaturanga down. Inhale, up dog, sphinx or cobra. Downward dog. Catch your breath. Let's begin to bring our left foot to the center of our mat. The left hand steps in a little bit. We're going to pivot on those left toes, letting the outer left foot meet the ground. Begin to shift the weight to our left arm, coming to a side plank so our feet are together. Wrists under shoulder, arm reaching overhead. Side plank, you're doing good. Use that strong core. Exhale, coming back into a downward dog. Catching the breath. And then walking your right foot in, walking the right arm in, pivoting onto the outer right foot, keeping that wrist kind of under the shoulder, feet are meeting, side plank. Exhale, hand meet the ground, pivoting on the toes, downward dog. On an exhale, slowly begin to lower the knees once again, slowly, slowly, slowly. Knees meet the ground. Toes together, knees apart, downward child's pose. Then walking your hands back out. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward dog. Exhale, come into a high plank. Chaturanga all the way down and come all the way to your belly. Tops of the feet meet the ground. Arms are reaching to your side. On an inhalation, we're going to begin to lift our legs off the ground, lift our chest, reaching our hands back towards our toes, using the strength of our core to keep us off the ground. In Sanskrit, this pose translates directly to locust, but I prefer to call this Superman. Sounds a little more strong and fun. Exhale, lower down. If that was enough for you, you're free to do that pose again. Otherwise, if you're thinking you want a little bit more today, on your inhalation, we can bend the legs. Reach the arms back, see if we can hold the outer edges of our feet. And inhale, begin to kick into those hands. Kick, kick, kick. Opening up into full upward bow. Keep kicking those feet. Only thing on the mat should be your belly button, which is a lot harder and easier said than done. But keep kicking, keep pulling, keep breathing. Exhale, lower all the way down. Your ear can meet the sides of your mat. Catching your breath, planting your hands underneath your shoulders. Inhale, little cobra. Tops of the feet pushing into the mat. Then using the strength of your arms and your core, let's push ourselves all the way back to our heels, coming to a seated position on those heels. Inhale, let's come to our knees. Our knees should be about hip distance apart. We want to keep our hips over our knees the whole time through this pose, coming into a Camel Ustrasana. First little pose, we're going to inhale, lift our arms up. Exhale, cactus the arms, baby back bend. Keep those hips reaching forward. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, hips meet the heels all the way down. So option to do that again, or we can add a little bit more, reaching back. Inhale, coming back to the knees. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, cactus the arms, reaching back, reaching back, reaching back. Maybe you can find that your hands meet your heels. Keep reaching those hips forward, relaxing the head and neck back down. If your hands are touching your feet, let's begin to walk our hands back to our lower back and unwind, coming back all the way up. Exhale, releasing our hips back to our heels. Beautiful job, beautiful job. Let's extend our legs out in front of us. Drawing the right knee in. Heel is in line with the hip bone, so my foot is not touching my thigh. Feeling that connectedness from my chest to my thigh. Draw the left arm behind you. Inhale, right arm lifts. Exhale, draw that elbow to the inside of the leg. You need to twist yourself to the left. Grounding through that right sit bone. Right sit bone not leaving the earth. Exhale, release. Let's extend our right leg, drawing the left leg in this time. Little Marichyasana twist to end our class with. Keeping that right leg active and engaged throughout the whole twist. Drawing the right arm behind you, left arm reaches overhead, elbow to the inside of the knee. Inhale for length, exhale, twist. Gazing over your back right shoulder if that's comfortable. Left sit bone staying on the earth. Exhale, release, coming back to center. Let's come to our backs. Knees are bent. Feet are about hip distance apart. And you can just touch your heels with your fingers. We're going to inhale, grounding through the insides of our feet. Lift our hips up high towards the ceiling. Maybe reaching your shoulder blades underneath you more. Keep those knees over the ankles. Bringing your gaze to your chest. Then exhale, releasing your hips back down towards the mat. I'm going to do that a couple more times. Inhale, lifting the hips, really grounding through the inner arches of your feet. Maybe this time there's an option to bind, kind of wiggling your arms underneath, clasping your hands behind your back. Using your hips to push and pull up towards the ceiling. Exhale, release the bind, release your hips back to the mat. The ancient yogis say that back bend should go in threes, so I'd love to keep it to tradition and do one more. On an inhalation, lifting the hips up higher off the mat, maybe binding. If you like to do a wheel, now's your option to do a full wheel. See if you can lift your hips even higher. Let's make this our best one yet. Exhale, lowering the hips down, undoing the bind. Let's draw our knees in towards our chest, hands on our shins, maybe rocking side to side a little bit. then extending one leg out, and then the other, setting up for Shavasana, our final resting pose together. Release, relax, and let go. Coming back to the breath. Letting go of everything else you have going on around you. Keeping your focus solely on the breath. Giving our bodies the chance to relax and rejuvenate. Empowering us to go throughout the rest of our day. Have the time to stay in the Shavasana, I welcome you to do so. Take as long as you can in this pose to rest and recharge. I look forward to practicing with you again in the future. Namaste. Thank you.